is finally here, pimps and players. Jin, the virtuoso, has finally been revealed, and we have a sneak peek at his abilities in-game. Let's check him out, see what the hell Jin actually does, and if any of our theories are actually true. So firstly, his name is Jin, the virtuoso, not Jin the Deadeye. The Deadeye is completely gone. Don't worry about Deadeye. Jin, the virtuoso, is the official name of Jin. And as you can see, the leak was actually correct. He does have both a health bar, a mana bar, and then these 4 purple bars below him. And that's part of his passive, which is called Whisper. Yes, just Whisper. Why? Because he's gangster. So Whisper, his passive, is obviously complicated as fuck because it's Riot Games. So the first part of the passive is Jin's gun, which is called Whisper, chambers 4 shots. That's why he's got the 4 purple things just right below his mana bar, because they're his 4 shots. So after he auto-attacks 4 times, he has to reload, pretty much like Grace with the reload. He has to auto-attack twice, then reloads. Now the weird thing is, Jin does not get any extra attack speed, so he cannot reload faster, and his crit kind of does less damage. But anytime you get attack speed or crit, it's converted into attack damage. So pretty much, Jin is just gonna have the most attack damage ever in game, because every fucking stat he gets, attack damage, attack speed, crit, is all converted into attack damage. Oh, and I forgot to mention, after he fires his last shot, his 4th shot, it always crits, except the crit damage is less than normal crit, just like Ash. You know how she crits less than normal? Because reasons. Oh, and of course, the 4th shot also is an execute, because, you know. Oh, and of course, the 4th bullet, the last one, not only does it crit, it also executes the target. So, the more missing health they have, the more damage it does, because we couldn't have a 3 auto attack percentage HP damaging ability, so we just gave him a 4 auto attack execute ability instead, because Riot Games taking it from 3 auto attacks to 4 auto attacks. Ahead of the pack. Oh, and the crit on the 4th auto attack plus the execute damage wasn't enough. Every time that Jin crits, you will get a burst of movement speed. Of course, had to have mobility and movement speed, and had to have an execute. Classic Raito. So let's check out what the rest of his kit does, and hopefully it's not so damn complicated. Moving on to the Q, Dancing Grenade. This is simple. Thank you. Dancing Grenade. Jin throws a target at a nearby enemy, so it's a click to win, and then it bounces up to 4 enemies. If it kills somebody when it bounces, it does more damage to the next person it bounces on. So you can throw it, click to win, and it can bounce 4 times and do damage. But if you throw it and kill somebody that bounces, it will do even more damage, and that can just be killing a minion. So I guess you'd be in lane, you can use this to farm on minions, or you can use this to kill a minion, get it to bounce onto the enemies, and then it'll deal extra damage. By the way, Jin is, yes, a marksman. He's an AD carry. No, sorry, he's not titled as a mid laner, but you could probably play him in the mid lane if you wanted to. I know I'll be playing him fucking everywhere. W, Deadly Flourish. Of course, it has a passive and an active. Good times. So the passive is enemy champions that have been either struck by Jin's basic attacks, or struck by his E ability, or just any allied damage are done to them, they become marked. So if Jin auto attacks them, if Jin uses his E, or if any of your friends, your allies, do any damage, they become marked. What happens when they're marked? Well, then it's the active. When you use your W, you fire this massively long-range shot, which is the ability that was leaked, right? And it damages all enemy minions, but only the first enemy champion struck. So even though it damages every minion in the line, it will only damage 1 enemy champion, and that is the first champion hit. And if they are already marked from Jin auto-attacking them, or from him using his E, or from any of your allies damaging them, then they will be rooted if you hit the active, long-range, super purple shot missile. Oh, and of course, Jin also gets a burst of movement speed if he hits it and they become rooted, because the crits weren't enough. We needed to give him even more mobility. Haha, suckers. The E, Captive Audience. Jin places a trap on the ground that turns invisible after arming. Enemy champions that walk over the trap trigger it. Really? Revealing and marking them with Deadly Flourish, the W, and creating a large slowing zone. After a brief pause, the trap detonates, damaging all enemy inside this explosion. So the E trap, if you walk over it, you then get marked, and then obviously the W, if you hit it, you will root them. So there's really good synergy between the E and the W. It's a cool trap, I guess, just like Caitlyn to an extent, except 500 times better. The trap is 500 times better. And I guess this gives Jin a lot of kind of zone control, because you can zone control the bot lane, you know, where everything is. Free wards, baby. So it's kind of like a team walk over the trap, it slows everything, just like mushrooms, except it doesn't do the damage instantly, so honestly, think about it, this is pretty much the same as if mushrooms, that's what it is. It explodes after, but that's really good for zoning out the bot lane, you know, put those traps fucking everywhere, nobody will touch you. And you know, if somebody comes through the river, and they step on your trap, you get vision, so you see them there, then you turn around and go, psh, psh, use your W long-range shot and you root them. So as soon as they walk over your trap, you can hit your W and root them, and that synergy is insane. And finally, what we've all been waiting for, the R ability, the ultimate, the curtain call, and no, it is not an Eminem album, but it is just as freaking good. This ultimate is insane. So what does Jin do? He assembles his freaking sniper, and yes, he does have a massive sniper rifle. He uses it when he uses his ultimate, and this is the sniper rifle that probably killed all those champions in the teasers. Rest in pepperonis, Garen, Sona, Vi, and Zen have been 360 no-scope Skype. Bitch. Skype. So we now have a no-scoping champion in League of Legends. That is also fucking cheese. So Jin assembles his massive sniper rifle. Jin assembles his massive sniper rifle and gets this huge V-cone effect, right? And he sees every champion that's been marked. How do they get marked? Jin's basic attacks, running over Jin's traps, or as long as any of your allies do any damage to them, they get marked. So he can see everyone that is marked in this zone. And then what can he do? He can fire fucking sniper rifles 4 times. And okay, so he fires these sniper bullets and he gets to fire 4 of them. The first 3, they deal damage to the first champion that they hit, and they slow the champion. The 4th and final bullet does increased damage. It does like massive damage, right? But also all of them deal more damage based on how much health the champions are missing, so they are all executes. It's complicated. Pretty much, gets out his sniper, sees everyone who's marked from his bubble. First 3 shots deal a lot of execute damage and slow them, and the last shot just is on steroids and fucks everybody up. It's a pretty good explanation. And it is guaranteed to crit, which probably means he also gets the movement speed as well. Classic. So once again, pimps and players, it is another fucking complicated champion, as if Illinois wasn't complicated enough now, but Jin. Alright, and he's definitely made to be an AD carry, but of course we'll try him out in every single lane, every position. As soon as he's up on that PvE, I'm going to be doing gameplays in every role, so make sure you subscribe to not only bring it in, but also stay up to date with all the new information on Jin. I'm going to be doing gameplays with him, I'm going to be showing off his skins, his just in-game, his secret interactions, his taunts, everything Jin related. You will find on my channel, you don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to leave me ever, you will never leave me. Everything Jin related on the channel over the next 2 days. It's gonna be insane. Jin looks amazing. I mean, he looks amazing. He's complicated. He does pretty damn cool. And he's unique. That's what I like. Being champion. More shit to learn. Gotta make the